Most gacha games start off strong, but then they also fall off fast. Enfield. They launch with hype, generous rewards, and tons of content. Then a few months later, people just stop playing. But after playing Neverness to Everness for a few hours, this might actually be one of the few games that don't follow that pattern. Its systems becoming frustrating, progression slowing down too much, and the game just feeling repetitive over time. And that's what usually kills most gacha games long term. One of the first things that stood out to me is how fast they respond to feedback. I remember seeing in beta performance was pretty rough in some areas, like barely running like at 60. Even basic things like driving and moving around the city felt clunky, but after some feedback, they pushed out optimizations quickly and performance improved significantly. And honestly, devs listening to feedback at all is pretty rare, let alone actually acting on it quickly. That alone makes it feel like they actually care about how the game plays and not just how it looks or appears. Second thing is the gotcha system. Instead of just a normal banner, use the board style system where you roll dice and progress towards rewards. So you're not just pulling and hoping, you're actually moving towards something tangible. And more importantly, you can't lose a 50-50. That alone removes one of the most frustrating parts about gotcha games. It also has a higher base rate than most gotchas, which makes it feel less punishing overall. On top of that, the launch rewards are extremely generous. You're getting a very high amount of pulls compared to most gotcha launches. And if that level of generosity continues, it can change how early progression feels completely. Because one of the biggest reasons why people quit early is usually because they feel like they can't build anything, or that they don't like their team, or that they want another one and just simply can't get it. Another thing that stood out to me is the customization. There are already multiple outfits for each characters, and you can already pull them alongside gotcha characters. So not only can you get them for free without having to use any premium currency. Most gotcha games barely even include cosmetics this early, even after years in the industry. And even compared to games like Genshin Impact or Wuthering Waves, it feels like player expression is more of a priority here. But it's not just the customization. The world itself has a very strong atmosphere. There are already moments that feel genuinely creepy, which is something you almost never see in gotcha games. That kind of delivery on the ambiance and overall atmosphere of the world can make it feel a lot less predictable and a lot more exciting, knowing you're not just going to walk into sunshine and rainbows every quest. In most gotcha games, the strongest upgrade is usually locked behind C6 or S6, but here you can choose which upgrades to activate, in any order. So instead of being forced into a linear path like C1, C2, C3, you can choose whichever order you want. For example, you could go C6, C1, C2, C4. So instead of being forced into one very expensive path, you actually get more control over how your character evolves. That completely changes how progression feels. It feels a lot less like chasing one perfect outcome and more like actually building your character, and more importantly, how you want to. Now, obviously, it's still early. A lot of games feel good at launch, but that's what makes NTE different. It's not just content, it's that the systems actually feel designed to keep players there long term instead of just a rug pull. The devs are listening, the gotcha feels fair, and progression so far does not feel overly punishing. And if they keep improving at this pace, I can honestly see this being one of the very few gotcha games that doesn't fall off almost instantly. What? Wait a minute. Was that a JoJo's reference? Okay, forget everything I said. That's why you should play this game.